Hey guys, what's up? Me, that NCAA gamer. Welcome back. Today I have this is gonna be posted on Friday, so happy Friday, everybody. Today I have a nice video on the show. Wednesday. I'm gonna film this today, but I decided to do a deck profile with Shadow Despian. I could call it Despia, I don't know why. But I decided like, hey, I still have this deck need to film. So I was like, you know what? Why not do a deck profile for this? Give you a heads up, the side deck is gonna be the same because I decided to use the same side deck as my Despian Shadows. But maybe if I decide to make another 15, maybe. But overall, this is gonna be no side deck. It's gonna be the main deck, and this extra deck. So today I have Dogmatika, Lynch, and Invoke. I somehow managed to make a really good deck. I think, in my opinion, make a really good deck. It's really consistent, about like maybe 45 cards. I usually like to play around 45, 46 cards, just for fun. Maybe if I can get less, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, who knew? Let's talk about my deck profile. So, first thing I play is 3 Dogmatika Ecclesias. Pretty much the base card for Dogmatika. You know, she could be special summoned when your opponent controls a monster from the extra deck. She can't be destroyed by battle from monsters that came from the extra deck. And also, you can add a Dogmatika card from your deck to your hand, but for the rest of the turn, you cannot special summon cards from the extra deck. She's a really good card. You can combo off of her with a few cards, depends how your hand is, because this deck is a little bit of the extra deck heavy, kind of, in some ways, but if you know you're ending your opponent, I made a deck that could use your extra deck a lot. So overall, this is pretty much a good starting card. Next, I have 2 copies of Dogmatika, the Knight, Knighton, Fleur the Knight. This is also another fantastic card. This is the card I usually could add with Ecclesia, or maybe add Punishment, which you're going to see later in the deck profile. Fleur's effect is during the main phase, maybe if me or my opponent controls a monster from the extra deck. Same thing for Ecclesia, pretty much all the Dogmatika cards except for, the 2 main ones, so like these, can be special summoned by, if your opponent controls a card from the extra deck. You can special summon it. Well, with him, same thing, but his regular effect, instead of getting destroyed from cards from the extra deck, he can negate effect, your opponent's monster effect, and that's really good. And that's where you cannot special summon monster for an extra deck. Get used to it, because I am going to say a couple of times after I get by the Dogmatika Engine. What also he can do is, whenever I attack with him, or he attacked, or when Ecclesia attack, or when another card coming up attacks, his effect is to gain that all Dogmatika monster gains 500. So pretty much you're attacking the monster with 3,000, you're attacking with Ecclesia with 2,000, and you're going to attack another monster with 2,000, which you probably will know coming up soon. But overall, it's a very, very good card, and I really, really, really enjoy it. Alright. Next, I play 1 copy of Maximus. Maximus' effect is pretty much you banish a monster from your extra deck, from the graveyard to the extra deck. You banish a monster that's from the extra deck that's in your graveyard to banish. Wow, I said that backwards. So if the monster's in the monster that is from your extra deck is in the graveyard, you banish it, you special summon him, and his effect is you dump 2 cards from your extra deck to the graveyard. Same for your opponent, so pretty much you just dump 2 any cards. It just whittles your opponent with extra deck cards, depends what they play, and it helps benefit me because there's a few cards that actually benefits with his effect. And also with that effect, you cannot special summon monsters with an extra deck. Here's the Searchers, the Dear Servant. I play 3 copies of those. It's a really strong spell card. You dump a card from your extra deck to the graveyard, then you can search a monster with attack equal or less. So pretty much if I dump a monster with 2,500 attack, I can search a monster with 2,500 attack or less, which is amazing. And of course, for the rest of the turn, you cannot special summon a monster for the extra deck, but who beats it, because you can go off with this card if it resolves. All right, next, Punishment. Punishment is just my removal. You know, dump a fusion monster, or not a fusion monster from the extra deck and destroy one card. It has to be, you know, it's the same output with Nadir, but as a destruction effect. And also this forewarning you, if you activate on your opponent's turn, you cannot special summon anything from your extra deck during your upcoming turn. So I advise you maybe try to, hopefully you can pop something on your turn, and hopefully, I don't know. But overall, it's a good removal. Maybe if you feel confident about your field, you just want to drop punishment, go right ahead. Can't stop you there. All right, that's the punishment engine. Here's the Invoke Engine. So we're gonna play 3 Alistairs. Summon, Invoke, Invocation, link 1, play it, then make a buff. There we go. That's how fast, that's simple as possible. Also, if you have a fusion monster, drop it, gain 1,000. That's how complicated it is. No, I'm just kidding. No, overall, Alistair, you just need 3 copies to play it no matter what, which is really good. Next, I'll play 2 copies of Magical Meltdown. Okay, so everybody likes to play 3. I'm playing 2. There's a reason, because I do play 1 more field spell. This one is pretty much just searches you Alistair, which is pretty good. So watch out for an Ash and maybe or a Gamma or a Drolock, because they can just, you know, play it after resolves, or maybe summon him, then get Ash with then negate the effect from adding invocation. So just watch out about that, but also this will protect your monster's fusion summon on fusion. And yeah, it's a really good field spell. All right. Well, yeah, it just protects on this fusion summoning. And there's a lot of fusion monsters do have effects on summoning out there. Next, I have 2 copies of Invocations, 2 really nice, crispy ultimate rares. This is your fusion. You usually need to play 2 because 3 is kind of risky, in my opinion. I know a lot of people could say, like, you know, you can play 3, but yeah, you can. But the thing is, you do get to bounce this card back to your deck and add Alistair back in your hand if Alistair's been banished. Of course, watch out for DD Crow, because they can banish this and you'll be like shit out of luck. But still, playing 2 of these is perfect as it is. It's really good. It's pretty much, you can just keep adding it and adding it and adding it and adding it. I know it's once per turn for the adding, but just to play it is not. And so yeah, it's a really good card. And also, if you use Alistair as a material, you can use your opponent as the second material. That's it for the Alistair engine. Now I have the Lynch engine. So I play 3 Golden Lords. I originally played 2, but I decided to play a 3rd one because I think it's like, in my opinion, since I'm not playing pure Lynch, I know because you can just play 2, but I decided to play 3, and actually this deck made it kind of work out best. It's really not that bad. It's actually pretty good. You know, it does have 2 really good effects. One, to discard 1 spell in him to pop 1 card in the field. And also, if you have a spell or trap on the field, you can put it in the graveyard, put them back in the hand. Special summon 1 zombie monster to gain 1,000 and cannot be destroyed by card effects until your opponent's in phase, which is pretty good. So I decided to play 3. Maybe if I break, because I've been play testing this one, and it's been doing pretty good. And I haven't really, it didn't hurt myself at all yet. I played 2 copies of Curse Eldlich. It's just pretty much, I just add Eldlich. If I had a Golden Land Trapment spell in my hand, or maybe or Elixir in my hand. If I have Golden Land, I just usually just get rid of it as soon as possible, because only zombies can attack if you have this card face up, which is kind of the only negative effect. But this card is pretty good. In 1 turn, you can add Golden Lure or Spell and Trap, doesn't matter. Then on that same turn, maybe dump him with one Spell and Trap that's on the field. That could be again the Elixirs or the Golden Lands, to destroy that, and you can dump another Spell and Trap from your deck, or a Golden Land Trap, which is so good. Or of course, or Eldlich, but it doesn't matter. But it is so really good. You can plus a couple on this, so pretty much set up your graveyard for Eldlich. Next, I play one copy of White Destiny. It's just a Monster Reborn quick play spell for Lynch. That's what I'm main for. I could play a Black Elixir, but I'd rather have something that I can activate on my opponent's field, because maybe if I have a couple of the Golden Land traps face down, I can just activate them. But overall, yeah, this is what I use it for. It's just a Monster Reborn for Lynch. Next, I play 3 copies of Conquistador of the Golden Land, and 3 copies of Hybero of the Golden Land. So I played 3 of the trap monsters. I don't play Guardian because Guardian's not that good. So this one's pretty much banish my opponent's field graveyard, and this one's the pop one. So pretty much, it's not that hard to pick. It's pretty much it's like a control style. Just break your opponent's board down very slowly, which is pretty good. And also, if you banish them, oh yeah, I forgot to say this too. If you banish a White Destiny, you can set a Gold Land. If you banish a Gold Land, you can set a Elixir card, which is pretty cool. Next, I play 3 copies of Scarlet, Elixir of Scarlet Shrine. He's the White Destiny. It's the White Destiny version, but it's a trap. And this one can search from your deck and grave, while Destiny can actually just search for your graveyard or hand, or special summon from your hand or graveyard, which is pretty good. Same thing for this one. This one can be grave and deck. This one can be hand or grave. And also banish this one to set a Golden Land face down. So that's it for the Golden Land, or the Lynch Engine. This is my staple engine. So like, my hand traps, just regular cards I can play pretty much about a lot of decks. I played 3 Ash Blossoms. Again, just to stop my opponents from searching. I play 3 Gamma Seals, which is pretty much the out Dragoon, because I want to play a board that can break boards pretty easy. Let's just say we have this one tough card you cannot beat. And if you have a Gamma Seal, just slam that shit down and make your opponents cry. Next, I play 1 Call by Grave. Simple as that. Just maybe if your opponent just decides to send down an Ash or a Drolla, just activate this. So this is an interesting card. This is why I only play 2 copies of Meltdown, is because I play 1 copy of Secret Village of the Spellcasters. If I have a Spellcaster on the field, my opponents cannot play any spell cards. But of course, if my opponents do have it, pretty much they can play spell cards. But the thing is about the reason I play this one, because my Dogmatika cards do play are spellcasters, and there's Fleur, Ecclesia, and Maximus are spellcasters, so it's pretty good. I like to play it, and maybe just whittle my opponents down more that way. I play 1 copy of Forbidden Droplet. The reason I use it is for the Golden Land. Or not Golden Land, the Lynch Engine package I use it. And plus, it also outs Dragoon. It is so strong. It is incredibly powerful. And I like it. It's really good. I play 1 copy of Terraforming. It just searches my field spell. Nothing new. Nothing to see. And I play 2 Paleozoics, Diamyscus. The reason I play this is, those, again, it does get rid of cards of field, and also you can special summon it, but when it leaves the field, they do have to be removed. And also, let me put that one down. And also, you can, when they're in the graveyard, but of course, it has to be once per chain when a trap card is activated. You can special summon this card, but it does get banished when it leaves the field, but they are also unaffected by monster effects, which is pretty cool. And also I use it for like climbing and stuff like that. That's if a trap card's been activated. Alright, so next I have the extra deck. It's a 15 card extra deck. So I play 2 copies of Makeba and 1 copy of Invoke Argusis. Makeba is just my Alistair with another monster. It's actually just Alistair, link 1, this, then boom. Actually, here you go. I'll show you right now. And 1 copy of Artemis. So pretty much it's just my just my Makeba summon and stuff like that. His effect is that whenever my opponent plays that card, if I discard the same type of card, negate, destroy, negate and banish it. But if it's like a graveyard effect, it does not go banish, it just negates, which is pretty good. Well, while Goose's effect is like anytime once per turn, if anytime a monster has been special summoned, he gets to pop a card, even including himself. So even when you special summon him, he can just pop 1 card right away. And when your opponent special something, well, during the next turn, of course, he can pop something. So yeah, it's pretty good. Next, I play 2 copies of Elder Entity Nestus and 1 copy of Titan Clyde, the Ash Dragon. The reason I said these are like my dumps for Dogmatika cards for Nadir Servant or Punishment. This is the part when you can go big. If you have a Nadir Servant, you activate this, dump this card, add Ecclesiast, summon her, add Punishment, set Punishment, and end your turn. On end phase, if this card's been sent to is in the graveyard or is still in the graveyard by a card effect, which is Nadir Servant, you can add or special summon a Dogmatika monster. So I'll be like, effect to add Fleur. So I have a negator because Ecclesia is on the field. That's if she does not get destroyed before I can special summon her, or that's when my opponent doesn't have a monster that's been special summoned from the extra deck. It is a very good card. That's the reason I use it for. And yeah, it's a one-of card. I wanted to put 2 in it, but I couldn't really, I didn't have the room for it. Into this, its effect is just, if she just gets dumped from a card effect, she gets to pop a card on the field, or target 1 card on the field and destroy it. It also is a hard one to return for her, so watch out. But yeah, it's good removal effects. Here's my Lynch Engine. I play a handful of links, including Artemis. So I play 1 Link Spider, 1 Nightmare, 1 Unicorn, 1 Blacklisted Soldier, Soldier of Chaos, and 1 Access Code Talker. Link is just for linking off my trap monsters. Phoenix is just, blows a spell and trap. This one just bounces a monster. If I have the patience, or if I have the cards, specials, I will just use him, because you do need 3 different monsters. So you can't really need to link climb him. You can only link climb like this to this to that, then this. Blacklisted Soldier is a really good monster. If it's been used, let me read it. If this card was linked to something with a level 7 or higher, this card cannot be destroyed by card effects. It also has 3 effects. Of course, it has to destroy. If it destroys a card, you can activate 1 of the 3 effects. It can attack again for next turn, gain 1500 attack, or banish 1 card on the field, which is pretty good. And also, Access Code Talker. Reason I link climb is, link to with a monster, summon him, gain 3000, and I have cards to pop with Earth, Fire, and Light, and Dark, which pretty much if you want to finish your opponent with a 5300 beat stick, hopefully it doesn't get negated with Effect Veil or Gamma or anything like that, because you cannot respond to card effects during his first effect to gain its attack from a link material from a monster, so from Nightmare Unicorn, but it can be responded by his normal effect, which is but still, it's still a strong card. It gives me games. I do play 3 Xyz monsters. I play 1 Constellar, the Paladins. I just use him for just the Golden Lands because the Golden Land monsters are level 5 lights, and I just use them as material, summon him, and he can just bounce a card once per turn, and it can be either side, either turn too. So it can be my opponents that just bounce it back to their hand. Alright, so let's just put that back there. Then I play Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon, and I play the bigger tank. It's just if I know if I can get game, maybe some of the tank, take a material, do 2,000 to your opponent, and put it over that, put another one out, and it can attack twice, so it will have 6k. Or if you feel more confident, some reason would say your opponent has 2 monsters, bam, bam, take a material out, it can attack 1, 2, plus 1 more, so it can attack 3 times, so pretty much you have a 6k beater. Hopefully you can finish your opponents off that fast, but you know, you might can. I hope you, so that's my deck profile for Eldlich, Dogmatika, Invoke. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry for the long goodbye break, because again, I'm in college, and I'm gonna try my best to do this type of stuff. If not, I'll see y'all soon on Twitch when I get back home in November. See ya.